Hello, everyone. You're watching All About the W, your weekly deep dive into the WSL, star stories and standout performances. Let's break it all down. My name is Kai, and as always, I'm joined by my co host Ash. Ash and I are here with an episode of All About the Match Day. We will be reviewing all the WSL fixtures from Match Day 21. We're almost at the finish line, everybody. But before we get started, a reminder, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, which I know a lot of you aren't, do hit the subscribe button. If you are a regular, hit the like button, comment below. We also have membership that have opened up, and we're going to have, we've planned some fun things, including like an end of season WSL quiz in which members can participate in. So if you'd like to participate in that, please become a member. Um, Super thanks, super chat, those options are open. So if you want to contribute in those ways, you may do so. Okay, Ash, a very interesting weekend in the WSL. A lot of unexpected results, a lot of almost unexpected results happened. But
Yeah,
the biggest of them all was Manchester City versus Liverpool, which finished 1-0 to Man City, where Rebecca Knack scored in the 91st minute. She obviously goes down earlier in the game
yeah,
holding her shoulder. I think she lands on it weird, but then somehow manages to get this header. I don't know how she managed to get to it with a bum shoulder, but it
yeah.
happened.
Yeah. What she was doing playing the whole 90 with the bum shoulder
Yeah.
is questionable to begin with because even when she takes the header, she goes down and she's holding her shoulder and like she's crying in relief at the goal and she's crying with clearly in pain with her shoulder. And I'm just
I
like, you know,
thought she was crying because of joy. She was like, "Oh my
no,
god!"
no, of course, there was joy, but I
No,
feel
I
like she
think
was
it was
also
because of
holding
the
her shoulder.
pain. No, I think it was fully
Yeah.
the pain. There was like it was not
Yeah.
the joy.
Yeah. But anyway, City weirdly, I can understand where City were coming from because it's the tail end of the season. You think you won it, and then Arsenal are just like these dark horses coming in from behind, and suddenly there's like some tension, some stress over it, and you've dropped a few points here and there after you come back from the break. And Coffee is back in the midfield, and things are not really working. Carolyn does like cannot convert. And is not a good replacement for Miedema thus. So it's just and like Bunny Shaw also looks a little bit off it. All the headers are not connecting. I mean, they're all the opportunities are still there. She still finds herself in this dangerous situations, but it's just not the final like ball is not going into the goal.
Yeah,
Uh, so I can understand City's frustrations, but keeping all that aside, I thought Liverpool were fantastic. Liverpool was absolutely fantastic.
yeah,
Like, and I don't just mean this in defense where they were just sitting and like, because Falk had an amazing game and they were
oof,
good in defense, and Fisk and Clark were meeting everything aerially like really well. I'm really surprised at the goal that finally went in
hmm.
because Falk could have saved it. Fisk and Clark could have done something aerially. So I just feel like they will be disappointed by the fact that they held out for 90 minutes and then conceded,
Yeah,
because sometimes it happens, like you think, oh, it's over now, and then like it's just the last few minutes and you're not paying attention and it goes in.
yeah.
um
Because this
because it's
felt
also,
like one of those games, didn't it, Ash? Like honestly, like those chances City were missing. And listen, on the
yeah,
other end as well, like Olsen and
yeah, that's what I
Sillag
was going to
both
come
have
to.
big
I was like,
chances.
if Silak could have scored,
Yeah.
this
Olsen
would
also
look
had
like
a
a
free
very
header
different
as
game.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Like,
both. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
sorry, go on.
So I mean, basically, both chances. Like maybe Olsen definitely sticks that in the first half of the season. She's obviously lost a bit of form, but yeah.
I think the mistake that City did was they gave Kerry Holland so much space in the
Mhm.
midfield, like an enormous amount of space. Like a lot of the chances that Silla was getting were coming from like Kerry Holland, or even that Kerry Holland herself was getting, were coming from just Holland having them like acres of space to just run in the midfield. Um,
Yeah.
and I thought that that was a really big mistake in defense. Uh, if there had been anyone other than Silag and Olsen in those two spots, I feel like this would have been a 1-1 for sure.
Hmm.
I mean, O'Sullivan also had a shot that could have gone in. So there were like a lot of opportunities. I think Liverpool started the game really well. I thought they were really good in the first half. I think they dropped off as they went along in the game, a little bit, just a little bit. And I think that if they were to strengthen, they look really good. Like if they were strengthened in the summer, I can see Gareth Taylor building a top four, top five team from this side.
Yeah. And listen, they're still in the cup competition. They're still in the FA Cup.
Yeah,
They're going up against Brighton, who are also in like really good form all of a sudden.
yeah,
But yeah, I think City, for City especially, like that big chance Carolyn had, which she kind of shoots straight at Fark,
yeah,
and uh, like a couple of headers that just go over the bar from Bunny. Like they had a fair bit of chances, and you in that moment, like I think I watched about um I mean, I watched the whole game. Wait, yeah, I watched the whole game, but I was watching it and I was thinking, oh, like is this one of those days where there's a force field around the goal? Because Fark was like,
yeah.
I am not letting in anything, but of course she's
Anything,
going to
yeah,
be disappointed by the one goal she did let in. But I mean, listen, she had made so many saves, like you can't
yeah,
like fault her too much.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, City got the job done. Now
yeah,
they are, well, they just need to win against West Ham. That's all they need to do. They don't have to worry about
yeah.
Arsenal. They definitely don't have to worry about Chelsea because Chelsea can like mathematically no longer pip
Yeah,
Man City. So all City need to do is keep their head down, and of
yeah.
course we'll see what the results look like for Arsenal against Brighton and Everton and Villa. I think those are three games that they are yet to play. Um,
So wait, I have a question. If City draw against West Ham, uh, Arsenal still don't have a chance, right? Like if they win
uh,
their games in hand.
no, so right now I think City are at 52 points or 53.
Yeah, and Arsenal are at 41. So they'll be at 50 if they win all their three games, right?
Uh,
9 points.
they have 4 games left. They Arsenal have
Uh,
played only 18
four, as
games.
in like in the final. So their cities at 52, and Arsenal will be at 50, with one game left to go.
Hmm.
If if Arsenal win and they end up at 53, and
Right.
City
Yeah.
win,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah. Yeah.
City draw and they end up at 53.
54. 54. Oh,
No,
53.
no,
Yeah.
City 52. So they'll end up at 50. Both
Yeah.
will
So
be
the
53.
thing is,
City will still win on goal difference, right?
yeah, so that's the thing, right? So that's why that Leicester win against Leicester that Arsenal had,
Oh,
which
right.
that rattled everybody
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that was a thumping win, and
yeah,
all
yeah, yeah,
Arsenal need is one more game like that. Of course, they're not going
yeah,
to be playing Leicester anymore. They're going to be playing Villa, Everton, and Brighton. They could get a
yeah, yeah, yeah,
result like that against Villa. We've seen Villa concede 6 goals this season,
yeah,
so it is possible. So for City, I mean, all they need to do is win against West Ham. It's not asking for too much.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. To be fair,
so
West Ham are in some form, but yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, but okay. Maybe we can move on, Ash.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next game, United versus Brighton, which ended with a 1-1. United in a slight dip in form, I think, with goals drying out a little bit. Kankovic
Yeah,
scored in the 39th minute. Schuller scored in the uh 90 plus fourth minute in extra time. It was Schuller's first WSL goal. It was a decent goal, also, I think,
yeah.
like a proper striker's goal.
Hmm.
So United will be happy with that, but like the 1-1, they will definitely not be happy with. I think Brighton deserve to win this. You reckon?
Honestly, I mean, yeah, I do think Brighton deserved to win this game. And they probably when I say deserved, I all I mean is they created more chances.
Yeah,
Um, Especially in the first half, I feel like they're probably sort of kicking themselves that they did not kill the game off, because they
yeah,
did have a couple of big chances. I was like, I think 1-0 would have been a fair result. obviously,
Yeah.
Ash, you and I had gone live for the Arsenal Lyon versus Arsenal game, so I didn't catch the last 15 minutes of the game. But clearly, United were piling on a lot of pressure, and I think Brighton kind of sat deeper and deeper. And I think when that happens, and when you have quality players like Schuler running at you, maybe it's just going to happen. But yeah, I mean, had Brighton won this game, they would have locked down that sixth spot on the table.
Yeah.
Um, top of the table finish, as in like top half of the table finish, is still nothing to be scoffed at. So now what they've done is essentially left the door open for London City, because I think Brighton are playing Spurs in the last day
Yeah,
of the
that
season.
Brighton are
Yeah.
playing Spurs next.
So that's not an easy game at all. And I think LCL are playing Villa. So we'll have to wait and see what that result looks like. But I think for Brighton, they're probably going to be more focused on the FA Cup semi-finals ahead of them. Uh, they're going to play Arsenal tomorrow. Like as we're recording, I'm guessing once this goes up, maybe it'll be the match would already be done. But I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of rotation for that game. I don't think Vidasic is gonna care too much about whether they finish sixth or seventh or whatever. Basically, prioritizing the FA Cup game, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So there is that. But yeah, United just looked shit. And honestly, I genuinely thought it was going to be another game where they don't score a goal. And genuinely, the goals have just dried up, like you said.
yeah, yeah,
And in this game, honestly, I was so like, I'm somebody who kind of cackles when United do stupid things, right? But this
yeah,
game, Ash, like obviously Brighton play a high line, and United were trying to exploit that, like have
yeah,
um, Mallard make those runs in behind, and Mallard could not stay onside. She was offside four
yeah,
times, and three of those were excellent through balls that she could have either held up or fully taken advantage of, and like just scored a goal. And it was so infuriating. And like sometimes she was like miles offside.
yeah,
Like so much so that there's a ball I think that Rolfer sort of plays through, and Rolfer
yeah,
is so annoyed as she's playing the ball through that Mallard is already offside. You know,
yeah,
um, so that was very annoying. But yeah, I mean the goal itself, I thought it was really well taken by Jankovic. Like she takes it around Farron Tallis Joyce and sort of finishes it at a tight angle. Like Leticia is also sort of running towards goal to sort of make that
yeah,
clearance. So that's a good finish from Jankovic. But I mean, uh, when this goal went in, I texted Ash saying, I really want to watch Fallon Tallis Joyce live, because she's such a brilliant shot stopper. But also,
yeah,
you get the complete comedy of her trying to play out from the back, because
yeah,
she's so bad with her feet. Like, she's just, it's not even like, making a bad pass. Of course, like that happens to all goalkeepers. It's just,
yeah,
you can see the lack of confidence in the body language. And
yeah,
Brighton's press was sort of smothering United in the first half.
yeah,
And like they'd already turned over the ball in like multiple parts of the pitch, like in Brighton's final third. Uh, and yeah, I mean, there's this really funny way in which PTJ runs towards the ball when she's trying to kick it,
yeah,
which all of it, I just find it a bit funny. But anyway, I mean, this goal, yeah, it is a bit on Fallon Tallis Joyce, and unfortunately, she couldn't stop it. I mean, she has it in her to like stop it, but on this occasion,
yeah,
it wasn't to be. But yeah, I mean, 1-1 essentially meant Chelsea only needed to get a draw at Leicester to seal a Champions League spot. But yeah, I mean, I mean, we discussed last week whether this means Skinner is gone. I think this again, like drawing to Brighton. Listen, teams have struggled against Brighton, especially in the second
yeah,
half of the season.
yeah,
But
yeah. They've been on a tear.
yeah, but then again, Skinner has not necessarily like covered himself in glory with
Yeah,
the results that we've seen. So we'll see what happens with his contract. Um,
yeah,
okay, Ash, Spurs versus London City, 2-1. Gobset scoring in 30th minute. Holt scoring beautiful goal, 28th minute. and Alana Kennedy, yeah, she scored one in the 90th minute. What did you think?
I spent a lot of time in this game slightly frustrated at Spurs, oddly frustrated at Spurs. I mean, we spent most of the game 2-0 up. So you would think that we had a very comfortable game, but we
Hmm.
didn't really. In a sense that for a long part of the first half, nobody was stringing like four passes together. Like
Right.
both teams, the midfields kind of cancelled each other out. There were like a lot of iffy moments in the midfield. They kept losing the ball, both teams. I
Hmm.
don't think this was just a Spurs or an LCL thing. I think it was. I mean, the ties between these two teams have been quite uh, stressful and dynamic to begin
Yeah.
with. But I think in this match particularly, it was very much a case of who would get a hold of the midfield faster, because both teams were actively sucking. You know,
Yeah.
but I think Spurs, I don't know what happened, somewhere around like the 20th minute. Maybe it was just Gopset scoring, just taking the game by the helm and scoring in the 13th minute or whatever. After Even after that, like 5 or 10 minutes after that, they kind of like sort of brought themselves together, and they sort of took control of the midfield, strung a couple of passes together.
Hmm.
I thought uh like obviously Gobset and Holt, like Gobset is absolutely like a godsend. Like this is
Yeah.
the best player we have in our team
Hmm.
currently. Like just the only thing I was asking from her is what she delivered in this game, which is final product. She Because she'll carry all the ball, she'll do all the work, she'll be creative, she'll move around, but she won't score that final goal.
Hmm.
And in this game, she did that, and this is now a complete player if she can replicate that performance.
Yeah.
Um, my only sort of like qualm with Spurs, even after they sort of controlled the midfield and got it together a little bit, maybe to being 2-0 up, fortuitously helped, is that when Gopset left, in like when like Holt left in the 72nd minute and then Gopset left in the 89th minute,
Right.
when like the minute you do substitutions, Spurs just look like a different team. They
Hmm.
look like an absolutely different team. So I'm just like I'm a little bit worried about that for the future, because there will also be a Hamano shaped hole in that forward line. Hamano also had a really good game, I think.
Hmm.
She'd lost the ball a few times in the starting, but I think she found her rhythm somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit worried about the drop off. But and I swear, Gunning Williams, if you run at the goalkeeper a third game and do not score a goal, I one on one, I
Yeah.
will just like I'll lose my shit. Anyway, moving on, I'm really the one thing I have to bring up is it was Beth England's last home game,
Oh yeah, I
and
wanted to bring up both Beth England as well as, listen, few retirements. Obviously, Laura Coombs
yeah,
is retired. Obviously, been at
yeah,
City for quite some time. Beth
yeah,
England is another player who has announced her, not announced her retirement, but announced that she's moving on. Among other
yeah.
players, I think there are four other players apart from Beth England
Ryan
leaving,
Brink is
but
leaving as well. Charlie
yeah,
Grant is
Charlie
leaving.
Grant, yeah. So yeah, tell us about Beth England.
I think I thought Beth England was good when she came on, as she always is. I do think the team were trying to get her to get a goal.
Hmm.
They were trying to push the ball forward, even though we were 2-0 up and we didn't really need to. Um, and sometimes that led to some transitions that were a little iffy, but that's another story. But I think the aim was to get her a goal at some point, but that didn't really work out, and then they had to sort of like give it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But uh I just this is a class act by England, and I'm so honored that she played for our club and that she was our captain, and
Mm.
she was just the best role model, the best footballer, the best professional that you can possibly ask for. Never, like just the most inspirational player. And wherever she goes now in the future, whatever she does, I wish her like immense amount of success. As a Spurs fan, I will always be a Beth England fan. Even if she go like unless she goes to play for Arsenal or something, I will always
Mm.
be a Beth England fan.
Yeah.
And so I'm just so happy that I saw one last Bethington performance in action,
Yeah. I mean that season when she moved in Jan and she what scored 12
Saved
goals
us
in
from
13
relegation.
games. Yeah, saved you from relegation. Like 12 goals in 13, like some ridiculous number, which
Yeah,
is just, I mean, yeah, she is a goal scorer. And yeah, I think um, having watched her at Chelsea and then move to Spurs and take on like this leadership role, that was really interesting, and it was a pleasant surprise. I thought, and then you see all this media and a lot of players talking about what a good leader she is and how
yeah,
um, like how she helps out when say a new player comes to the team, like what her role is
yeah,
and things like that,
yeah,
and obviously leads by example, like in every facet of
yeah,
training. So all of
yeah.
that, yeah, an incredible player for Spurs, sure.
Yeah, yeah. Just a small thing. I haven't spoken too much about LCL. I think that LCL need to be slightly more like Goodwin, for example. I think they need to upgrade on. I think it's time. And Cascarino, I thought was the best player they had on the pitch. And in the final, sort of like once Spurs had their substitutions, etc. The final 20 minutes or so, they really gave Spurs a hard time.
Yeah.
Lana Kennedy looked like, even before she scored, looked like she might score. Which, oh my God, Lana Kennedy scoring. It
Hey,
irritates me every time.
that is the almost golden boot winner of the Asian Cup that you're
Asian
slandering.
Cup, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, but I thought it was a shame Sangare had to leave with an injury also.
Hmm.
Another player that we've always thought is a bright spark. So yeah, I think LCL haven't had the best ending to their season. I think there's definitely, if they're going to, like, they have been very good competing for those middle spots. I think we called it really well at the starting of our season when we predicted they would be sixth.
Hmm.
Um, because that's in and around where they were the whole season.
Yeah.
Um, and But I think that if they are to build from here, because I'm looking at the way Liverpool are shaping up and the
Hmm.
way Brighton are shaping up and the way Spurs are shaping up, if they want to maintain that middle of the pack, like
Yeah.
move away from the middle of that pack and be in the top three or top four, like Gang wants them to be, I think they're going to have to like
Yeah.
massively overhaul.
I would be really surprised if like LCL don't go in for like an elite striker because like
Yeah,
Goodwin, I don't know. I don't think she's there yet. I don't know if she'll ever get there, to be honest. But obviously, like there have been games where Paris has had to start in the nine because
yeah,
Goodwin simply is not. I don't know if it's a confidence thing or if it is just a quality thing, but yeah, I
yeah,
think. I mean, they've already been linked to Marpilion, who can add a lot. I mean, all the racism issues aside, I think
yeah, yeah,
she'll
yeah.
be a good addition. An experienced defender, a good left foot, very good with set pieces. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll see a lot more links to LCL because that's where the money is at.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, moving on. Leicester versus Chelsea, which ended 1-3. Kerr scored in the 13th minute, and then James scored in the 27th minute, and then in the 33rd minute, and then Shannon O'Brien scored in the 42nd minute. So clearly, Kai, by watching the Champions League game, you didn't miss much because you caught all the action, which was all in the
The
first half
first
of this
half.
game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was pretty much so. I think the only thing I saw afterwards, which I did point out during our live, was this challenge from Ash Neville. That was crazy. That was, I don't know how she didn't get sent off for that. Is
Yeah,
beyond me. But it is what it is. A very dangerous challenge. I think more than like getting sent off, it was just like you don't expect something like that from an experienced defender like Neville, because I feel like if Thompson, I don't know if you saw it, had Thompson like
yeah,
planted her foot, no, that is like definitely
yeah,
broken leg. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it was just like business as usual sort of a thing, because it is business as usual because Chelsea can't keep a clean sheet anymore. So
yeah,
anyway, Hampton was rested slash dropped. Olivia Peng, sorry, Livia Peng was in goal. I don't know why I keep calling her Olivia. Anyway, Lauren James is incredible as always. I mean, both the goals. One is obviously from the edge of the box. It's sort of laid off by Cuthbert, and she just takes it. And the second goal is again a free kick at the edge of the box. And I mean, the free kick is just ridiculous because you normally see players running up to the ball and stuff like that, and LJ like literally takes one step towards the ball, no
Yeah.
backlift. Like we know how she kind of shoots, and it was a brilliant free kick from her. Uh, it was like, yeah, heavy rotation for Chelsea. I don't know. The team was like most players, like Thompson didn't start, Nuskin didn't start. Captain started, Potters started, Neve Charles started. I thought Neve Charles looked really bright. Obviously, gets that assist for the Samker goal. Uh, and Shannon O'Brien obviously scores that goal. Lucy Bronze makes a back pass and realizes, oops, Shannon O'Brien is there. So, but credit to her for scoring because I do think she, I don't know, Peng was positioned in this very weird way. She was obviously off her
Yeah.
line, and she could have tried to like chip her or try to take it around her, but she was just very decisive. She just pulled the trigger
Yeah.
just before she entered the box, and I thought that was like good
Yeah.
decision making from her as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, biggest news of the evening is that Sam Kerr is now Chelsea's top goal scorer in the WSL. She
Yeah.
went ahead of Fran Kirby, so that's great. And Beaver Jones came on in 62nd minute, so she's back fit because I do think we're gonna need like it's going to be like, yeah, we're going to need all
Hands on deck.
positive, not hands on deck necessarily, but like all positive things that we can get before facing Man City in the semi-finals. So I think the
Yeah.
rotation was also keeping the semi-finals in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was what it
Are
was.
you worried about the WSL at all anymore? Like, does it matter to you if you're second or third? Because like the Champions League qualifier stage, whatever you call it, the qualifiers
I
is
don't think
something.
Chelsea finished second, to be honest. And I
Yeah.
think Arsenal will con like
I mean, if Chelsea win their last match and Arsenal drop points either to Brighton or to whoever else they're playing. Who are they playing? Villa.
there's
Uh,
Everton, Villa, uh, Brighton, and there's I don't know who they're playing on the final match
So
day.
like these are not easy games. Like these
Yeah,
are not like you're not playing less. They're not playing Leicester every day. So highly likely they drop a few points. Does it matter to you if you're second or third?
not really. I mean, I've sort of made up my mind that Chelsea are going to be third, and we're going to have to go through that one double header with whoever uh,
Yeah,
the disappointing thing is that that means you're going to be in like pot two, I think. Obviously, this is the first year that WSL has two spots in the Champions League, like direct qualification into the group stage. So,
yeah,
number one and two don't have to go through any qualifying stages. But yeah, I'm not necessarily concerned, especially this season because there's no summer tournaments.
yeah,
So, yeah, I feel like it's okay. When you have summer tournaments, like players are coming back, maybe not well rested, you're gonna have to give extra time off, etc., etc. And I feel like it should be okay unless like Chelsea draw like Wolfsburg or something. Um,
yeah,
that will be crazy, but hopefully not.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay, moving on. Villa versus West Ham, which ended with 2 goals to West Ham. Ueki scored in the 86th minute, and I
Puvel scored in the
yeah, in
Serena
the
Puvel. Yeah.
90 plus second minute.
Oops, sorry.
I
Uh,
was just like, that does not look like a name I know.
Sorry, that was a typo.
Yeah,
Yeah, Puvel, 92nd minute, great finish. Okay, this game, uh, this is like the theme of Aston Villa season. There are two themes.
yeah,
Ouch. Just hurt myself. There are two themes. The first theme is they get a whole load of chances
yeah,
because they play like they just like break so quickly, right? So they do have these big chances that none of them can score. That is one. And
Yeah.
none of them, by none of them I mean like not Kersey Hansen like the others.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
second theme is they can't seem to win against teams that are around them on the table,
Yeah.
right? Like they play Villa, sorry, they play London City last year of the season. I can guarantee you that that game is going to be either a draw or a win for LCL. Like Villa are
Yeah.
not going to win it. But yeah, I think I was really glad that Ueki got this goal because I thought she was phenomenal in this game. Ueki is like one of those players who will just like run her legs off. She's constantly on the move. You know, she's not the biggest of players, but she's constantly battling for the ball,
Yeah.
like battling for aerial duels and like actually
Yeah.
like winning them. Gets the goal as well as the assist for the Puvel goal because she's the one who flicks it
Yeah.
on. So
Yeah.
I think I think Ueki obviously had a really really good game. It's funny because like there were moments of like really good quality in this game because I thought both teams pressed well. They really forced turnovers in dangerous areas. Like this was throughout the game, it just kept going back and forth. Villa had a really good first half. West Ham had a good like 20 minutes or so, but generally, there were moments of quality, and then there were moments where it was just like fully flat and nothing was really
Yeah.
happening. Like misplaced passes, and then Villa going all the way back to build out from the back. So it was a weird game, but I think you know this thing that Villa that's been going on with Villa this season. I think Arroyo really needs to start it like sort it out because
Yeah.
obviously in this game pattern is not there. Like I think Anna
Yeah.
Patton and hasn't played for a couple of weeks. I think I'm not really sure. Oh yeah, also Villa played after 5 weeks because they had the
Yeah.
long international break, and then they did not play Arsenal
Yeah.
because of the first leg of the Champions League. So this
Yeah.
was the first time they played after
International break.
yeah after international break. So there was a bit of rustiness with that. Pattern was not there, but still, I think there
But
is.
they also, like, just to play devil's advocate, it also meant that they had, because the international break finished and all the players returned, which means that they had 2 weeks to prepare for a game against West Ham.
Yeah, 2 weeks. That's the thing, right? Like, do you need 2 weeks to prepare for a game? Ideally,
Yeah.
when you're in season, the best part about being in season is that you just keep going from game to game. If you don't have
Yeah.
like Champions League midweek games, you're basically going game to game. Like it's a weekly thing. That's your routine. And
Yeah.
I do feel like there was a bit of rustiness with the Villa team for sure. But for me, I really like. I am really curious to sort of dissect why it is that Villa can like take points off of City, Arsenal, and United,
Yeah.
but not like win like beat a West Ham. So there
Yeah.
is that element of inconsistency, but also yeah, I just think they need to strengthen defensively, right? Like for
Yeah.
example, you take a team like Brighton, for example, like they also like they don't play necessarily in transition; they play more possession based football, but they can be also chaotic. But at the same time, from last season to this season, the thing that has been very noticeable with Brighton is how good their backline is, including Nandozi. Nandozi
Yeah.
is really good, and then you have like a fairly settled centre back pairing now of Minami and
Yeah.
Hayes. And I feel like Villa also need to find that like defensively, like really solid players can sort of, I feel like can take them from like number right now. I think they're ninth on the table or eighth on the table. I'm not sure to like a sixth, on the
Yeah.
table. Like it's just those moments. But yeah, I mean, West Ham have now sort of jumped ahead of Liverpool, but obviously, yeah, Liverpool, nothing else to play for. There is Leicester are definitely going into that playoffs. They will be playing Charlton, which I genuinely feel like, I think I told you this, Ash, with Leicester and Charlton, like Charlton is probably the one team that I feel like, I don't know. Leicester are probably happy to play Charlton because
Yeah,
they were, they started the season really strong and they've dropped off significantly since then, and
yeah.
and
But on the other hand, Charlton do have, like, if nothing else, they have a really good defense, and Leicester is struggling to score goals.
yeah, they have a good defense, but I don't know, like, uh, I don't know. I think Charlton are also struggling to score goals. It's not like they've been
Yeah.
scoring, so I think it's going to be a proper like mid off um, that one. But yeah, I mean, that is happening. I think, is it happening on the same day as the final of the Champions League? I'm not really sure. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe we can do a live watch along for that.
Yeah, yeah. We definitely do a live watch along if it's not on a big match day.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's that, Ash. Obviously, Arsenal will be playing Brighton, and I don't know when their fixtures are, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going live for any of those games.
Yeah, I know I have the timetable in front of me.
Ooh,
So tomorrow is the Brighton versus Arsenal game, as in tomorrow is today,
today,
by
yeah.
Indian time.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have the Villa versus Arsenal game on the 9th. Then the 13th, we have the Arsenal versus Everton game. So there's lots of Arsenal, and then there is the rest of the game week.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, this weekend is the FA Cup semi-final weekend, so we will
Yeah,
be going live for that, I think. Uh, so yeah, we'll catch you then. We'll probably do previews for that as well. We haven't done
yeah,
any predictions last week. I'm
yeah.
I'm I'm screwed, you guys. I'm so done. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this episode. A reminder: if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. And yeah, like the video and leave some comments below. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.